Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates.
So responsive, because when I first sent out the message to you, I didn't really know what to expect. I was like, oh my God, maybe she's so busy with the campaigns and stuff. But I'm so glad that you were gracious and that you were so responsive and swift. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so
I'm quite nervous, but then...
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said I'm quite nervous, but then, you know, you've tried to like make me calm down. Maybe I'll get there after a couple of minutes.
No worries. We're going to have a good time. You can be very sure. Okay, so let's start now. Okay, so one of the questions that I've learned in 2020, the most important question, according to Meghan Markle, is to ask, how are you? Are you okay? How are the holidays? And how are you spending them, Natasha?
I'm well. I am very thankful to be here at the end of this year. You know, when there are others who aren't. So I'm very thankful. I have a lot of gratitude in my heart. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It was a bit different. We didn't get to go and do, you know, be with in the cows and things, but
yeah.
a lot of gratitude. Yourself? Yeah. What about you?
Well, I also didn't get to spend it with my parents, whom I love so dearly, well, like everyone else. So yeah, that was a bit different. I went to work a bit, but spent it in Kampala, which is a bit rare for me, because I'm usually with my parents in the village in Kazo. Yeah. So, okay. So, Natasha, before we can get into, of course, today's topic really is about your new book. Congratulations. But before we can get into your new book, I just wanted to find out, first of all, we recently saw you on the campaign trail with President Museveni, who is also your father, where you were documenting, you were sending us short videos of him that we rarely see. President Museveni is the father, and that we rarely see the dad, that other side that we rarely see in the media. What really inspired you to share those videos, and are we likely to see you again on the campaign trail?
Well, I don't know about if I'm going to be with them again. I don't know. I'd love to. I don't know. But what inspired me is, I think, you know, a lot of I would, you know, when you're spending time with him, I just always look at him and wonder. I wonder if people know, you know, how funny he is, how little he sleeps. You know, he sleeps so late, he's up so early, and I was just wondering. Then we were at every meeting he held. I just kept hearing this, because he kept saying giving the same message about, you know, the message he's always giving about his consistent message, basically, about, you know, the things he talks about. And in it, I heard he kept just saying, you know, for us, the way he says it. And I just thought, I need to see if I can get that on video, you know. So I tried to ask him, and then there was this whole back and forth with, you know, him saying I should leave him alone. I am from Namagunga, he's from Chamate, and, you know, like that. Huh?
Yeah. Okay, so for us today, we're going to talk about your book. But before we can, again, turn my calls off. Sorry. I think someone tried to call me. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh God, I should have done this a long time ago. Okay, sorry about that. I wanted to find out from you, how has it been like, the pressures of being a first daughter, as we call you, and the pressures from the public? How have you been able to balance those pressures? The pressures from your parents, the expectations from your parents, and the pressures from the public. How are you able to balance them, but also still maintain your own life as Natasha Kainembabas?
Okay. I think my parents had probably, you know, the same expectation that any parent has of a child. So they didn't have like expectations like that are different from any other father or mother. You know, they wish you well, they want you to be educated, they will hope you, you know, find a life partner, and, you know, so on and so forth. So there was nothing so extreme there. And also, I think because I'm not in public office or anything, so I don't know what people would expect from me. So I don't have much. I don't feel that I'm under any pressure from the public or anything. You know, I kind of live a bit of a private life. So I'm sure people have their own preconceived ideas, but it's really I don't feel the pressure much.
Okay, much later on in the discussion, I want to ask you about the things that you wish you could be doing, but you can't do because of your status. But those I'm sure we're going to get into much later after the discussion on the book. So, just to sort of prepare us and set the stage for your book, I just wanted again to find out, how has it been like growing up as the child or as a daughter of President Yoweri Museveni and Janet, Mama Janet, or First Lady Janet Museveni?
I don't know. I'm not very sure how to answer that question. It's just because, like I was saying a minute ago, is that they're such real people. There's everything. They're very just down to earth people, you know. I think if any one of us ever had any, I don't know. They're just really down to earth people. So being raised by them has been quite an experience. For me, I'm very thankful, for them, for the way they raised us, for them introducing us to our faith. My mom, especially, for Musei, trying to keep us grounded in our culture, in being African, and you'll never be anything else apart from African. So be African. When we lived in exile and we had picked up some of those habits, he wouldn't accept them. So I'm just thankful for that. So I don't know. Others, you see, other people will see you in a certain light, but you are just who you are. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. Perhaps some people would think maybe he was strict because he's an army man. So in that regard, did you ever get that side of him? We see him as a strict person.
No, my mom is strict. My mom was strict. He was not strict. He was not strict. He's like very, very loving. He's very, compassionate and what. So I think my mom had to make up for that. He was kind of, yeah, especially with her daughters, he was a bit, really quite a pushover. So she really made up for that because she was strict. Yeah. So there was a balance.
I guess we also got the same thing, because it should be very difficult if all the parents are like the same. There's always like the good dad and the bad dad, or the good cop and the bad cop. So yeah, we got that too.
It's not,
okay, so let's get into
bad cop, but it's more like just a balance, I think,
right.
A balance of a lot of mercy, but someone has to be the disciplinarian somehow.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So let's get into your book. First of all, congratulations again. What's in a name, Kainembabazi? Could you just, without giving much detail, could you unpack it for us? And what's the overarching theme that that the book is premised on?
Okay. I think I think it's mostly about whenever I'm talking to elders and people who are older about culture, about so many things, there's just so much depth I feel we haven't shared, that is unknown, about our cultures. My culture that I come from, and generally, like in Uganda, we have so many cultures, and we're so diverse, like as a country, with so many cultures, but every culture has something so rich, so very deep. So for me, I think it's when in the title is really about that heritage. And what does a name carry, identity and heritage and things like that.
Okay, so I'm sure you've probably touched on it, but where were you seated, for instance? Where were you? Where did it occur to you? At what point were you in your life did it occur to you that you needed to write a book about, heritage and culture? what inspired you? What sparked that interest?
Okay, I've loved writing since I was a child. Just writing, journaling. When we were children at school, me and my friends, we used to write novels and share them with each other. Write stories about ancient Africa and love stories based on, like, I don't know, bygone eras in Africa. But then I didn't think I would write my own story. I thought if I were to write, I would write fiction. And I thought I just thought you have to be a bit older. Because I'm pretty old, but I thought you have to be older still to write.
Certainly.
To write a life story, and stuff. But anyway, I just felt God saying, telling me to write my story and things like that. And that's how it all began.
Mm-hmm. So, and how long did it take you to write? What's in the name?
I started last year around June, maybe. Yeah, so I'm up until September, October this year.
Mm-hmm. So you say you have been writing since you were a child. Do you have any unpublished books? Do we see any other writing projects coming up?
I don't know about, I don't know. I would love to keep writing. I hope I'll keep writing. But who knows about tomorrow, I really don't know.
Yeah. So no unpublished books, no any unpublished.
Oh, definitely unpublished books, but they were baby books. They were like, S2 stories you write like in S2.
Those would be good. It's like reading your journal from way back.
They were quite good. They were quite good. I'm sure I would have to dig them up from somewhere, but they were good.
Okay. So how was your schedule like when you're writing? And really, I'm asking these questions so that if there's any writer that is watching, they'll probably get one or two pointers and maybe might be inspired. And so how is your schedule like when you're writing normally? Okay,
so this is my first real serious thing. I write articles. I've done all the other kinds of writing, and normally they say that when you're going to write, you should have a schedule, and at a certain time you sit and I tried it to have a schedule to sit down at a certain time and just start writing, but it didn't work for me. So I would there are days, and especially at night, there are times I would be so, I'd keep writing. Then there are days I'd go for days without I'd be blank for days. So I just don't know that I even have a formula. Maybe God willing, if I get to book number 2, I'll be able to share some wisdom.
Yeah. And so that would be, I think, like writer's block, where you get to a point and you just don't want to write anything. You literally feel your head is jam-packed. You have an idea, but you can't put it down. So how do you overcome writer's block? I'm sure even in your movie, the biopic about President Museveni's revolution, 27 Guns, I'm sure you probably also did some writing for it. So how did you overcome writer's block?
I would just wait. I would wait, because if I try to insist or force it, somehow it just wouldn't work. So I would just wait a day, wait 2 days, and then keep going.
Yeah. Okay, is there do you have to tap into something for inspiration? And I'm really trying to stay away from discussing the depth of your book, because I don't want to do any spoilers. I want people to go and buy it and read it, so we're not discussing anything in detail about your book. So where do you draw your inspiration? And I appreciate that you've said this is like your first serious work, or first serious book that you're writing, but I'm sure that once in a while you have small little things that you script or write down. So some people draw their inspiration from, conversations in restaurants or events in the news or something they've had. So where do you draw your inspiration?
I don't know, if I'm journaling, then I'm just normally just pouring out emotion. So when I'm just, I just write. Where someone would be crying, I'll be writing. When I'm praying, I'm writing.
Right.
So that's when I'm journaling. When I was writing the story, it was very interesting, because I would feel like it was a very interesting experience. It felt very spiritual, because I felt like I would be going into I don't know what to call it. I think when you sit down to chronicle life and things, and then you begin to realize how much you've been through, what it is you walked through, what it is you survived, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very powerful, very I don't know. It was just a very wonderful experience for me.
Okay.
So
And
I don't know that I know where you asked me where do I draw inspiration from, but for me, so much in life is just so much. Like you say, it could be, but mostly it comes from inside. For me, it mostly comes from inside. What's happening inside is what I want to bring out.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel that your relationship or your closeness to your dad or your parents, for instance, your mom, or the events that sort of shaped you, shaped your, so the exile like you talked about, do you ever tap into those moments?
Well, maybe not regularly. You know, I don't know. Writing brought so much back to the forefront of my mind, because you have to sit and just go back in your mind, you know. So that took me back, and it was very emotional. Going back in my memory now as a grown woman, as a mother, like trying to relive that, as you know. Now I was seeing it through my mom's eyes. I was seeing it different. So I don't remember the question. Sorry, I'm rambling. What did you ask me?
No, that's fine. That's okay. I could actually ask you another question. Why was it necessary? Why is it necessary for you and for any other writer to sort of document the stories, especially about our heritage and culture? This is what you started with, but I'm sure you can shine more light on that. Yeah.
I'll give you just let me give you, I'm just pulling from different places. While we were editing the film 27 Guns, it was edited in South Africa. And I was sitting with the editors, and we were looking at one of the scenes, and the guys saw the longhorn cows. And they were like, what is this? And I said, those are cows. And they said, this looks like something out of like a fantasy film, you know? So something for us that we take for granted is like a novelty in the rest of the world. Basically what it is that there's so much beauty that we have in Africa, in our cultures. So much beauty that is just not articulated, I feel. That's on the one hand. That's just about our cultures and our languages and our poetry and our music and things like that. Then on the other hand, I think it's just important for us as Black people, as Africans, to write our stories. Because the more we allow, I don't know, a vacuum, somebody else surely will come and fill that space, as has been done like in history.
Right. Perhaps before we can get away from your book, where can one get the book? How much is it? And yeah, can I get an autography, for instance? Can I have your signature on one of the books that if I want to buy?
Yes.
Will that be like a book signing event?
Oh, I wish. I'm not sure about that now with coronavirus and everything had to be done a bit different. Where we would have wanted to have a nice dinner and stuff, book launch and book signing and all these nice social events. It had to happen a bit differently because of the time and whatever is the pandemic and everything. So I'm not sure if there'll be a book signing. I'm not sure, but it's supposed to be in the bookshops. I think today, and they say it's at 30,000 around there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in case you're watching this, so if this was like TV, this is where we say, let's take a short break and then welcome people back. So let me first do that and then we can get into the other aspect of the questions. So hi everyone, thank you so much. In case you've just joined us, you're watching Sheila's Digitalks with Mrs. Natasha Museveni. Today we're discussing her new book, What's in a Name, Kainembabazi. And if you're really, really interested in buying it, which I think you should, she said it should be in the bookstores either today or maybe some other day. And it's only 30,000 shillings. So please, 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 I hope you can go and buy. And she says, hopefully, when COVID is long gone, she can sign on them. Okay, so let's now move away from the book for a minute and talk about the general life. You're a farmer. I didn't know that actually. It was a president that said it recently, that you're a farmer, you're a businesswoman, you're a fashion designer, you're a wife, you're a mother. What lesson, or what do you think that a young girl who is probably on this broadcast, or whose mother is on this broadcast, can learn from you?
That's very, I don't know. I'm sorry. That's a very hard question. What can anybody learn from me? I honestly don't know what anyone can learn from me.
Yeah,
but
no, I'm sure there's plenty.
But okay, I'll tell you about the farming. I think I'm not a very serious farmer. I ought to be more serious. I keep traditional cows, longhorn cows. That's what I do. And even there, I think I need to do it more seriously, like in a better way. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Because I've been keeping them in a very old-fashioned way, like the grazing is the traditional way. Everything is very different, and this has been a point of contention between me and my husband, because he's very he's like really a very serious guy. He likes doing things that make sense economically, and for me sometimes I'm like, they're so beautiful, and he's like, they're animals, and so we have those fights. But that's the farming side, just because I just love traditional cows, the Nyankore cows. The motherhood, that's,
Okay, what should I learn about motherhood? Me who is yet to get there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Motherhood, let me tell you what I'm learning, because I'm still on the journey, because my babies are like, they range from age 8 to 19.
Wow.
Is that for me, I've learned that if I didn't have God, I don't know that I would have managed it. It's very beautiful. It's very consuming. And I think I imagine if I didn't have like God, like also like really guiding me and talking me through all the things, it will probably be overwhelming. Because you have these human beings, and you're really responsible for not just material and food, but like the spirit, the heart, the emotions. It's a very big thing, but it's a most wonderful, most rewarding, thing.
So what's a day in the world of Natasha? How is your day like?
Those are the hard questions. That's the one. That's the one that's a hard one.
Everything is easy.
Can I ask you? Maybe yours is more interesting. I think your life is more exciting. Early mornings and all the adventures of your life.
Mine is quite straightforward, actually. I'm not yet a mother, first of all. I'm not a wife. I'm not. So it's okay. That's a hard one.
You see, it's a hard question.
Yeah, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. Okay, so let's see. No, but seriously, mine now it's a bit flexible. Not like in the past when I was like an active journalist. Now it's a bit flexible. So I have my own agency. So I like report when I want, and also depending on how much work I have on my desk, and then go to work and say read news and stuff like that. So mine is a bit more determined by me. Yeah, I don't have all these dependents, the kids, and so I'm very sure yours would be
not yet.
hard. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So let's get back into your being the first daughter or a first daughter. I'm sure you've heard so many things or myths or truths about being the first daughter or being the child of President Museveni. What's the funniest that you've had?
I think in my life, because in my life I am surrounded by family and friends. Mostly, I mostly interact with friends who know me from like school days. So none of them has any myths about me. They know me like down to the last, as in they really know me. They know they're the ones who call you out and say, like, just organize yourself and be serious and stuff like that. So the people in my life are just really, real. So I haven't been in close interaction with someone who might have a very amazing, idea about me. The people, so I don't know if there are any myths. They're a bit far from me, so I haven't yet. I don't know
Got
them.
them.
I would love,
Oh, wow,
yeah, I would
okay.
like to. I'd like to hear, yeah, but I just don't know.
Okay. I don't know if I would you allow me to tell you some of them? Or we shall reserve those for next time?
Okay, so no, tell me, do share.
No. I shouldn't be the one standing up. You know that? Standing up. No. Okay. I'm sure you'll meet them somewhere, not from me.
Okay.
No, but seriously, we've had there's a lot of stuff that is written. I don't know. I usually have comments running. I thought people would be commenting and stuff, but they would
Commenting
probably have
and saying, like,
they would have given
like,
me
ideas.
Yeah, they would have
They
given
would
me
have
ideas,
told
but I don't see their comments now, which is fine.
Sorry, so move on.
Moving on, yeah. No, but seriously, I'm sure that you should tell me some of them. There should be some funny ones that you've had.
I actually, the truth is, I really haven't heard any like what people think, what do you drink? I don't even know.
Yeah, like do you like make your own bed? Do you lay your bed? Do you understand? Like, I'm sure there are things that people have built. They're like sudden. I don't know.
Okay, if they're there, the truth, I haven't heard them. That's the honest truth. Because like I was saying, because of having gone to school here and from primary school, secondary school, just you end up, people know you, they get to really know you, and then whatever mystery, whatever thing just vanishes. So unless maybe I don't know. I just don't know, to be honest.
Okay.
That's when you're the one who tell me.
Okay, I'm sure I'll find some of them. Cool. Okay, so you have a close attachment, and I've just seen actually comment in here. You seem to have a more close attachment to your dad, to President Museveni. Of course, I shouldn't be asking you why, but because he's your dad. But I don't know. I guess it's just an observation. Why is that so? Is there any reason for that other than him being your dad?
That's the reason right there. Yeah, no, he's someone who he's really, like I mentioned earlier, he's a very loving parent. He's a very affectionate person. So as a father, that's how he was. And I always tell my mom that I'm really thankful for her, because if it wasn't for her, I think I definitely believe I would have a very big head, because he gave us very big heads, like the girls. He really told us, like, you're like all that. So she needed to just help us, stay organized.
Yeah.
So I think that's just his nature. So.
Are there things that you wish you could do, but you're unable to do because of your status as a first daughter?
I don't know. Probably, yeah. Just maybe freedom of movement, a bit more, things like that. But that would probably be the extent of it, I think. My life is quiet, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry, am I not answering that? Am I not giving you like exciting answers? Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I think
that's fine. No, that's fine. That's your answer. It's as real as it gets, and that's always what I'm looking for. Okay, so the other question I really wanted to ask you is, what do you think? What aspect of your parents? And I'm really sorry, because this is about your parents, but it's also really about you, because this is your book that we're discussing, and I'm sure they're very central to you and to your life, and not just you, but all your siblings. So what aspect of your parents, of President Museveni and the First Lady, do you wish that the public knew that we don't know?
Well, I don't know. Okay, I write a lot of it in the book. I write about what I think about their nature, their characters, their personalities. But like Mama, for example, Mama is a very, quiet, very graceful person. But I think very few people know is that Mama is actually very funny. She's a hilarious person. Like she has a very interesting sense of humor. So that's for Mama. But because of her demeanor, it's not easy to know that about her. People see her and she's always praying and she's always, so you can't know just how funny she is, but she's a really funny person. And then Mzee, okay, everyone knows that he's so funny because he's always joking a lot of the time. But I think, I don't know, for me, I think it's just that for him, maybe it's also a known thing, I don't know, but the consistency. He's so consistent, and like he's someone who wakes up early. He's always either going through paperwork or reading or making phone. As in they both work so hard, so they inspire me that way. I don't know if that's known or unknown, but Muzee's life is out there. In fact, Muzee, sometimes we tease him. He doesn't keep things. It's like if it happened, he'll say it, and he'll just go on the microphone and say something crazy, and you'll be like, but he'll just kind of put it out there.
Right.
So I don't think there's much hidden about him, really.
Yeah.
He shares. He's quite a sharer.
Mm-hmm. Is there any aspect that you pick from them? What do you take from each one of them?
I wonder.
Can I volunteer something that I think could be?
You can.
You probably have a sense of humor like your mom.
I would like to think so. I would really like to think I'm funny, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
So speaking of what you take after them, are we likely to see you join in your parents' footsteps in politics, whether be it elective or appointive? So what is the opposite of elective? Could you be appointed, for instance? Anything? Are you likely to hold a national office? Will you follow in their footsteps?
You know how there's a saying that never say never. But for me, I think because of growing up with them and seeing what is required, truly required to do these kinds of works and things like that. I'm really like an artist person. I like to be free in my life. The responsibility of, just having to show up places and I don't know that it's for me. I talk a lot. I like talking. So some people say like, oh my gosh, you'd be such a good politician because you talk, right? Because I'm quite talkative. I talk. Like in my family, I'm the most talkative person. My siblings used to ask me to keep quiet. And it would take a lot for them to keep quiet. So but I don't think that's what it means, because the way when I look at my parents, I see that it's not just about what's the word? It's not just about oratory, just speaking. Yeah. It's about service, and I just don't know that I have that. So I don't think so.
Okay, I don't think so. It's a bit safer to. It's like the never say never that you started with. Yeah. Okay.
I don't want you to call. I don't want like 20 years down the road someone to say, you said this, but I really don't think so.
Okay. So I've seen some comments here. Okay. Let's see. Let me sample some of them just quickly about the book. Amazon books for people not in Uganda. Are there? Will there be books on Amazon for people that are not in Uganda?
Yes, they said that they should be in maybe late January, hopefully.
Okay, that was a comment from. Let me try and get the name so that they can be sure that I'm with Bujingo. Bujingo is on that asked that question. So somebody said, there's a funny one. I'm sure you'll not mind this one. P3 Trina, Patrina, I think. That was it. Natasha whose hair got burnt in the salon.
Yeah. I can't. If I say, I cannot confirm or deny, because if I do, then I'm in trouble. If it's not me and I say who it is, then it's a tricky one.
Yeah, don't give out. Okay, let's see. Somebody said, Murunji Darren, whom are you writing for? Like, what audience are you targeting and why?
Yeah, I don't. I'm just writing so that to put it out there. For fellow Africans, for Ugandans, you know. I don't know, whoever's interested in just an a moderately interesting story.
Yeah. Okay. Karagwa. Dora is actually my neighbor here. Last question. I hope this is the last question actually. What is your daily routine? Have you ever struggled to get anything in life? And I think this sort of weaves into the myths that we talked about earlier, so I'm glad somebody has brought it in. Do you ever struggle to get anything?
I didn't hear the question.
The question is, what is your daily routine like? And have you ever struggled to get anything in life?
Like what, for example?
Yeah. Okay,
so I'm maybe you can, for example, like what?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, let me put it this way. My personal story, aside from what is in the book, it's all in the book, is that I gave my life to Jesus when I was very young. I'm a Christian. I am saved. So I've walked with God like since I was very young. So I pray for everything. I pray, and then sometimes God answers you yes, and you kind of get your heart's the thing you prayed for is what you get, and sometimes the answer is no. So that the thing you have prayed for, maybe you've desired so much, He'll keep it for some time, or it won't happen. So maybe I don't know if I'm answering her question correctly.
Yeah.
I've struggled. Maybe I write in the story about how I think I feel I'm not gifted in business as a business person. I always know that my strength is in art, design and this and that. So I feel like I have struggled there, even when I have my fashion business. Running it in a business way has been not easy, So thankfully, a few years back, my sister, who's more business-minded than me, came on board, and so we were able to work together. So that me, who is strong in art, can do this part, and then her, who is stronger in the business, can do that. I'm not sure if I've kind of answered her question.
Yeah. Okay. So I think, are there any parting shots that you have for us?
No, just pray that we can all make it through to the next year by the grace of God. Pray for peace. Pray for Uganda.
All right. Thank you so much, Natasha. Thank you so much for your time and for taking the trouble to speak to us. And if there's any other questions about the book, I'm sure you'll be answering some of them if they come to you or on your page or anywhere else. So hopefully, is there any particular? I saw that Fountain Publishers had said there's like an inquiry line they've put. I don't know, where do we go in case there are any questions about the book?
Yeah, there's a number. I think I had shared it on my page a few days back. There's a number. I think that's the one that they can call to make orders and make to ask.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Sorry. Thank you so much, Natasha, for your time, and I really, really appreciate for being so responsive and swift and gracious.
Thank you, Sheila.
In your responses. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Okay, so thank you everyone for your time, for joining me, for joining Sheila's Digitalks. I'm going to try and make this as frequent as possible, and of course thank you to Natasha and everyone else. There's so many people. So the reason I had to turn off the comments is there are so many of you that were sending in, and it sort of crowds the screen. So that is why, because we had such a huge viewership today. I think today's was the highest that we've had. So that is why I had to disable the comments, but I was still able to get them. And that's why I was able to read some of the comments to her. So thank you so much. I'll see you again very soon.